Now and then I like to do these healthcare law updates, and I can pretty much sum it up this way. Very good intention, so far going very bad. Now that could very much change, but let's just say not anytime soon. The math isn't adding up. Not enough people are signing up for coverage, and those who aren't making up for the millions of Americans losing their coverage. About 2 million new signees who didn't have coverage before versus 6 million Americans who have lost coverage since. That means at least 4 million net losses in the number of Americans getting health care coverage. Some put the number even higher, but I'm going to be conservative here. Now, there is good news. Those who've lost their coverage can and probably will get coverage. But the bad news is they'll likely pay a lot more for that coverage. Some will get subsidies to make up the difference, but apparently not enough to get reluctant young Americans in particular off the couch. And therein lies the rub. A lot of great coverage, not a lot of cash to pay for that coverage. This law has some great things in it. The biggest, I think, is coverage for pre-existing conditions. The second biggest, removing the lifetime coverage cap. That means even if you've been sick before and if you get sick again, you never have to worry about being covered. And trust me, as someone who has dealt with more than his share of medical issues, that is a big deal. Both those things, big deal. Unfortunately, they come with a big price. As I said when they were crafting this, there is no recrafting simple math. If you want more, it will cost you more. And if you demand insurance companies cover all this stuff, at least consider the possibility you could get stuff. Trust me, I am no pal of insurance companies. Let's just say some of these guys have made my life hell over the years. But then again, they're companies. They're not charities. Don't expect them to be charitable. As I said then and throughout and say now, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That doesn't mean I'm against coverage for pre-existing conditions or lifting lifetime caps or keeping kids on their parents' policies until they're 26 or covering the millions of Americans who do not have insurance now. It's just that you can't do all that and not expect to pay more for that, or that your doctor will be able to stick to that, or you for that matter. I am not saying that the president lied when he said otherwise. I can only conclude that this Harvard-trained lawyer wasn't and isn't very math-wise. Every cause has an effect. Or in the cause of providing health care for those who didn't have it, the effect would be socking it to almost everyone else who did have it. Don't get me wrong. Our old system was not great. I can tell you that personally. But I think this is worse. Look at the numbers. The CBO's estimate of the millions of jobs that this will cost and the millions of lost policies this has already cost and the millions of full-time workers made part-time workers because of this law's cost. Keep adding up those costs after cost after cost. The president insists that the trend will ultimately be this law's friend. And the proof is in a website that he told our own Bill O'Reilly is getting better. He's right. That website is getting better. By the way, it hardly could have gotten worse. But my issue isn't with the website, but what that website is pointing and clicking us to. That is why a lot of folks don't sign up. And that is why, oddly enough, so many of the uninsured themselves are passing it up. I want you to think about that. The very folks for whom we upended everything are saying the hell with this thing. Now, that may change. And what the president told Bill is that it will change. Then again, this is the same president who said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. That one still makes me sick. I'm just praying we all don't get a lot sicker.